Now let's meet the Western Conference champions, the Dallas Mavericks. The head coach is Avery Johnson. And tonight's starting lineup for the Dallas Mavericks. At guard, number 31, Jason Terry. At guard, number 34, Devin Harris. At center, number 7, Sagana Diop. At forward, number 5, Josh Howard. And at forward, number 41, Dirk Nowitzki.
History, the Miami Heat are off to the NBA championship.
The head coach of the Miami Heat is Pat Riley. At forward, number 40, Udonis Haslem. At forward, number 8, Antoine. At guard, number 55, Jason Williams. At guard, number 3, Wade. Bring them out, bring them out. And at center, number 32, bring them out. Bring them out, bring them out.
And a word from our ABC stations. Back in Miami, Florida, where they have heat fever, hoping for another thriller tonight at the American Airlines Arena. Our starting lineups presented by Miller Lite. Of course, Wade was the hero, but Udonis Haslem came up huge from Miami, and Nowitzki's 30-point game overshadowed a bit by the heroics of Dwayne Wade. As we get set for the tip-off, our Spanish audio of tonight's game, hit the SAP button on your television. And we're ready to go. Game 4 of the NBA Finals. Dick Pavetta will throw it up, and the Heat gain control. And the key, of course, is that man's left knee. He told our Lisa Salters right before the game that it's stiff. Not sure how it's going to affect him. Entry pass to O'Neal, deep, puts it up, in, and a foul. As Sagana Diop hit him.
Now that's a new way of getting the ball to Shaq. Coming off the high screen with Wade, when they hit Haslam in the corner, you can see Shaq. It's easy for him to post up right in front of the basket.
Third straight game, he's hit the opening bucket. He had a strong first quarter in the last game. And of course, the free throws have been a huge story. He knocked 2 down. They were down by 5 in the final minutes. He hit 2 very big free throws to pull them within 3. You just never know from game to game. Has dropped the rebound. Meanwhile, Dallas, they've bounced back many times before. Avery Johnson was not happy with his team's fourth quarter performance, but he was very confident they would come back with a vengeance tonight, Udy, as Nowitzki goes in and hit hard, knocked down to the ground.
Well, you're dealing with a proven playoff team in regards to the fact that when you take out Phoenix and then you take out San Antonio, you know that you are executing against top-level competition. Now, this is where Dirk Nowitzki is excelling. Right now, he is 1 foul shot in points away from Michael Jordan of total points. If he hits 2, he has 182 points scored during the playoffs this year. Michael Jordan's record is 183. And people say, what's changed in his game? Well, I think it's obvious.
And, of course, free throws. He's a great free throw shooter, but missed a very big one, as sometimes it happens. He handled it very well, said, hey, I was just too strong on it. He's hit very big free throws in this postseason to keep them alive, like in the San Antonio series. And you know it won't affect him. He'll bounce back tonight.
Well, in that game, Mike, he ends up 10 for 12 from the line. And let's face it, before he missed it, he was 25 for 27. But he's your horse. He's a guy that you're going to close the game with. He's your man with the 3 minutes down.
And he now has that record for free throws. Points made from the line in the playoffs. Wade to Haslam.
Yeah, plenty of time here.
O'Neal looking. Wade inside. And a foul.
Now that was Shaq not rushing the action. He accepted the double team and was looking for the cutter. All right, Devin Harris turns his head, and next thing you know, Wade is, see the alley? That alley opened right up. Now, when they trap with Nowitzki and then you have Diop or Dampier on him, well, the defenders have got to cut off the cutters. And that time, you could see that lane open.
Wade with the 42 points in Game 3, most in a finals game in 5 years. That was way back in 2001 when Allen Iverson hit 48. Shaquille O'Neal had 44 in the same game. Nowitzki looking early. O'Neal. Williams on the drive. Jason Williams to O'Neal. Not a smart pass, and Howard to steal.
4-on-1.
And Terry inside for an easy 2.
This is where they excel. Great athletes. All 4 positions can run. And then what you're saying is they can finish.
One of the surprising things, the Heat winning Game 3 despite turning the ball over 20 times. Although they made the big plays down the stretch, obviously, as Haslam can't hit.
Now that shot will be there for Haslam, plus the baseline shot 15 feet away from the basket.
Howard. Again, as we've talked about, Dallas has clinched all 3 of their previous series on the road. They played very well on the road as Jason Williams misses. O'Neal right there.
Now the outside of Wade and Shaq, players 3 through 8, you've got to come through here and make the easy opportunities. Now you love it if you're a Miami guy because of Shaq on the glass.
Howard misses another, but Sagana Diop with the offensive rebound.
They shoot right over Jason Williams.
And Nowitzki, who started off Game 3 going 0 for 6, but recovered, had a big second half. And knocks down his first field goal.
Well, that's a great offensive player, calling for the ball because of the mismatch. As soon as he saw Jason Williams on him, he called for the ball, and he knew just to make a spin move. I'm shooting right up over the top.
Nowitzki said that night after Game 3, tossed and turned after such a tough loss and missing that free throw. O'Neal inside, can't get back to fall. Bad pass from Nowitzki. Terry not expecting it.
Now on that move by Shaq, that was an easy move. He had a high percentage shot. And then when on the kick out here, anytime that you're running a lane, you never turn your head on the man with the basketball, especially on the break, because it can be embarrassing.
Williams.
See, this shot will be there. See, Dirk is laying off of Haslam so he can get the Shaq for the double team.
Walker, shot clock down to 8. Haslam makes his move, and offensive foul. Josh Howard steps in and draws the charge.
Beautiful team defense that time by the Mavericks. Two players sacrificed themselves. They rotated quickly. Keep an eye to the right of your screen. See them close that off? That was just excellent basketball.
Josh Howard making a name for himself in these playoffs. Pat Riley said he's a star, plain and simple. One of the most versatile players in the NBA. He's always been a good defender. Also scoring now. He had 21 in Game 3. And knocks that one down, although he was scoreless in the fourth quarter, and that was a big part of the comeback for Miami.
Well, the major thing comes down to do you get your number called by the coaching staff? And also, where are you when they make a play? Which option are you in them? And we say all the time, Josh Howard gets all of his points by being the garbage man. He gets them on the break and on the glass and every other way.
Walker blocked by Ja. Haslam had it, knocked out of bounds, and it still should be Miami ball. That's what the officials rule.
Now, Jap and Dampier have made a real presence of themselves, not just guarding Shaq, but in covering for everyone else on baseline drives.
It's been a terrific tandem. Meanwhile, Miami will inbound with 4 left on the shot clock. Wade has to put it up quickly. That's a three-pointer. And Howard very active early.
Dallas must keep the pressure on, Mike. They've got to keep pushing the ball every time there's a miss or a forced turnover.
They can play that pace. The Mavericks go 10 deep. Very good bench. Terry inside. Count it, and a foul. Beautiful move from Terry. He took a shot and still able to bank it in.
Throughout games 1, 2, and 3, anytime that they run a screen and roll from the left side of the floor for Terry, he can get into the middle of the floor. Mainly because of his quickness, and also he finishes well. Now, that was a difficult shot.
Terry, an excellent free throw shooter, misses that one. We've seen both teams go through some bad free throw shooting, especially Miami. Wade has Harris on him. Wade on the pull-up. Well, he said, Yubi, earlier in the series, he was penetrating too much instead of pulling up for that type of shot.
And that shot's there because he's so quick going that the defender is on his heels.
Nowitzki drives, blocking foul, and that's 2 on O'Neal.
Oh, boy.
He was in the restricted area. An easy one for Bernie Fryer to call, and now Pat Riley will go to Alonzo Mourning.
Now, this is Nowitzki at his best. He's going to challenge right down in there. You can see Shaq's heels were on the line.
No question. That's, for those new to the NBA, that semicircle is called the restricted area. A help defender, if has any part of his body, including the slightest tip of his heel in that area, it's automatically a blocking foul. A foul on the defense, and Nowitzki now to the line. So 2 quick fouls for O'Neal. The good thing, or the good news for Miami, if there is such a thing when O'Neal goes to the bench, they have maybe the best backup center in the league to come in for him.
Well, during a time that Shaq missed 20 games, all Alonzo Mourning did, he averaged 12 points, 9 rebounds, 3 blocks, and shot 56%.
So Mourning will play some big minutes tonight. He's been very sporadic in his playing time in the postseason.
Now at the offensive end, Alonzo Mourning is very good around the basket with the jump hooks, left hand, right hand.
Harris has the quickness to stay with Wade. Able to pull up and knock it down.
Well, see, when he has that range, mid-range out to the 24-foot line, you know that that defender is laying back because he does not want to get beat off the dribble.
Howard. Nice pass inside, and Jop is fouled. That's Haslam's second foul. So 2 key players for Miami with 2 personals early.
Now in the early going, Dwayne Wade and Shaq have all of the Heat points. Now you can see he gives you that move. If you come up on him to try to close out that jump shot, he will give you the hesitation, dribble, and blow right to the basket.
Let's check in with Lisa Salters.
Well, Mike, I asked Dwayne Wade what kind of treatment he received to get his knee feeling better so quickly, and he said, I had a whole lot of ice, a whole lot of electrical stimulation, and a lot of massage. And then he was asked, did you have to take any injections? And he said, no, and I hope I don't have to either because I'm afraid of needles. Mike?
Well, he looks pretty good so far, Lisa. He's dropped to the line. Dropped in his first year with Dallas, his first 4 years playing with Cleveland. He had some injuries. He was overweight. Had lack of playing time. Signed a free agent deal with the Dallas Mavericks. Had his best season, sharing time with Eric Dampier from the Senegal. A delightful man, and is becoming a nice player.
Good defender, good shot blocker, good defensive rebounder.
Williams fouled on his way to the basket. And they call it on Jason Terry, number 1 on Terry.
With Shaq out of there, you will not see any double teaming on the post. This will allow the Dallas defenders to play their men straight up. Now what you see is the floor is being opened up and allowing these people to drive to the basket.
2 free throws for Williams. Our NBA calendar, the finals continue on ABC Sunday. Game 5 back here in Miami. And then the series, if necessary, will shift to Dallas for Game 6 on Tuesday. And a Game 7, if necessary, would be next Thursday, also in Dallas. All our coverage beginning at 8:30 Eastern, tip-off shortly after 9.
Now, you know, you talk about pressure. We have some of the best foul shooters in the league in this game tonight. With Nowitzki, Jason Williams, Terry, all guys who shoot, you know, in the 80s to the 90s, and all of them have a miss in the first 5.5 minutes.
Both teams have missed a couple of free throws early. Stackhouse had an off game in Game 3, and his first shot goes in. Nice left-handed, and Wade took a shot on that move by Stackhouse.
Well, Stackhouse comes in, and he's looking to score. I like that idea. Post him up right away.
Well, apparently he's okay, but he misses the layup. A burst of energy. Now he's slow going back the other way.
Now somebody's wide open here.
Howard inside. And a foul called on Alonzo Mourning.
Whenever you pick up the wrong man in transition fast break basketball, if you are a Heat, you're at a major disadvantage. You have a matchup because of that they feel that you can play this guy even though you might have slow feet and you're not quick reactive. You get a wrong guy here, one of these perimeter people, just like Alonzo Mourning was on Howard, they're taking you quickly to the basket.
Let's check in with Stuart Scott.
Mike, Josh Howard scored 11 points in the third quarter last game. In the fourth quarter, he did not even take a shot. I asked him, was it the defense? He said no. He just said, I stopped being aggressive. I said, why? He said, I don't know. I was trying, but I wasn't really trying. I said, how do you change that? He said, when I get like that, I usually have to think about something that makes me angry. I said, like what? He said, doubters, people who doubt my team and who doubt myself. Mike?
Whatever you use for motivation, it certainly worked for Josh Howard, Stu. As we have our first timeout, Avery Johnson wants to talk it over. Almost midway through the first, Dallas leading by 4, and Miami with some foul difficulties, 2 each on Haslam and O'Neal. Mavericks leading by 4 midway through the first. Dwayne Wade and a troublesome knee off to a good start. Of course, Wade is a basketball star, but he's also a big-time celebrity in just his 3rd year in the NBA. Number of honors away from the game as he has transcended his sport. And in many ways, although he's a celebrity, he's an unlikely celebrity, as Wade has been married to his longtime sweetheart since back when he was in college at Marquette. And he's got a 4-year-old boy, so even though he's got this celebrity, he's really a homebody. Loves to stay home with his wife and his child. In fact, back when he was in Marquette, he had to take out a loan in college so he could afford baby care products like diapers. And you want to see his face light up, just ask him about his 4-year-old boy. Zaire is his name, and he's already got the shooting form down from what we're told.
Well, he handles success well, and you love his peers. They all say he's the hardest working player on the team.
And right on cue, 9 points in 6 minutes for Dwayne Wade. I know Maverick fans and the Maverick players, they're tired of hearing about his injuries. In fact, Josh Howard said he's been saying he's hurt all series. So they're a little fed up with Dwayne Wade's problems. Stackhouse poked away by Walker.
Now, that was a beautiful backdoor move by Jerry Unfortunately, it was not a good pass.
I think he's feeling it early. 5 for 7 from the field.
Now you can get up and close them down. You know, you can get up and play them as tight as you can. But once that happens, you know it will open up his game driving to the basket.
Posey is now in the game for the Heat guarding Nowitzki. And Haslam out with the 2 fouls, as is Shaquille O'Neal. Wide open 3 for Stackhouse. Won't go down. Dampier, the offensive rebound. And keeps it alive. Stackhouse.
And that's what you're looking for from Jop and Dampier. When they're in a game, get on the offensive board. In game 3, Dampier had a great night. 9 boards, 5 at the offensive end.
Wade again from 3. That's his 13th three-pointer of the playoffs. He had 13 all in the regular season, so he's equaled that in a short time as Terry comes back. Mourning the rebound. Antoine Walker gets inside.
Now this group out there now will fast break from Miami. They're very dangerous in this building. You know, when you go, they're 9-1, they average 100 points. They shoot a solid percentage, over 50%. So you must get back in a transition game.
A 9-2 run by the Miami Heat as Dwayne Wade leading them once again.
Yeah, see, right now they're playing off of him. He had Dirk Nowitzki in a mismatch. No way is Dirk going to go up on him. And at the other end of the floor now this is just Antoine Walker. He's done a great job attacking the basket off the dribble.
The Heat now leading by 3, 4.5 remaining in the first. Avery Johnson's been raving about Dwayne Wade. Talked to him yesterday, has so much respect for the talent and the competitiveness of Wade. But he also warned his team about Wade in our Gatorade Cooler Talk.
All right, contain. You're really making a concerted effort. Contain. Don't relax. When Wade act like he's hurt, then all of a sudden he's well. Don't relax.
Telling his team just to be ready. Again, he has such respect for Wade who took a shot here, but Wade has his ability after getting whacked. Watch him now all of a sudden on the next play. He comes and flies to the basket.
Truer words were never spoken that we just got from Avery Johnson, okay? He was being nice.
He does seem to have the tendency to look like, boy, he looks in trouble, and then he explodes for a dunk.
One of the greatest football players of all time, James Brown, used to do the same thing. Everyone used to wonder whether he could get the back to the huddle.
Right. And then he knocked 4 guys down on his next carry. Stackhouse, who was 1 for 9 in game 3. He's 3 of 4 to start here.
Well, that's what we said at the top of the show. They need him to come in to give that second unit immediate points. And he's off to a beautiful start.
And a foul call. Griffin, who did not start in tonight's game, as Avery Johnson went with Devin Harris, picks up his first. And here's Wade so far. That 1 3-pointer.
He's giving you the total game here right now. The drives, the three-point look, the jump shots, and mainly the jump shots. When he's hitting that shot, the defender is at a major disadvantage.
Spinning.
Well, that's his pet move in the paint, the spin move.
Mourning. They don't double as quickly with Mourning out there, and he throws up a bad lefty shot. Here's Stackhouse. Rebound, Griffin. Wade mistimed his jump. The Dallas Mavericks, an excellent rebounding team, but Avery Johnson said we got throttled on the boards in game 3. Well, minus 15.
You think about it, games 1 and 2, you have a 6+ rebounding edge, and then all of a sudden you get out-rebounded by 14.
Stackhouse nearly tipped in, and Griffin with another rebound.
Well, that's why he's in there. Griffin's a workhorse.
Mr. Intangible, Terry. Griffin trying again. His 3rd offensive rebound of the possession. But they can't convert.
Well, that time I thought Terry should have taken that to the glass. Yeah, I know that that was a safe bank shot. That's his pet area. But still in all, when you have the layup, take it.
0 for 4 in that sequence.
But when you're coaching, Mike, your guys are working. That's what counts.
Wade inside again, trying to find Mourning. Mourning blocked, but a foul.
Smart foul. Zoe is not a great foul shooter. For his career, he's under 60%. So he is a lot like Shaq. They get in there for the potential dunk, especially anything on the offensive glass. Foul him, make them make the foul shots.
So Mourning will shoot 2 as we go to Lisa Salters.
Well, Mike, as you know, Alonzo Mourning is asked all the time if he realizes what an inspiration he is to all of the kidney transplant patients out there and people living and battling kidney disease. And he says, I know, because there was someone there who inspired me. He said, when I was told I had to have the transplant surgery, I was afraid, I was uncertain, I didn't know what to think. And he said, I spoke to a woman in her 20s, a kidney transplant patient. She said, everything's going to be okay, Alonzo. She showed me her scars. She inspired me, and now I hope that I can inspire others. Mike?
All right, Lisa. Good morning. It's his second stint with the Heat after leaving here with the kidney problems. He was signed by New Jersey. They gave him a big deal. Things did not end well there as he asked to get out, criticized the team that he gave him a lot of money. Then he went to Toronto in a trade. He didn't want to play for them. They had to buy out his contract. He's very fortunate to be back here in Miami and playing. And they're fortunate to have him as they call a loose ball foul.
He's been very instrumental in the success, Mike. Through the regular season, the filling in for Shaq, the players are accustomed to playing with him, and then at playoff time, he's come in with solid numbers.
You see, picked up big numbers for many years, averaged 20 and 10. He's a 20-point scorer 6 times in his career. So Posey will go to the line as Griffin picks up his second foul with 2:19 remaining. Log on to NBA.com or AOL.com/NBA to follow the Mavericks and the Heat on your mobile phone with the finals real time, presented by Sprite. Boy, have times changed, Yubi. In all these years of the finals, Nowitzki will go sit down now. You can watch the finals on your phone.
There you go.
Something tells me you haven't been watching on your phone.
No. This guy on the line right now, James Posey, has been very solid for Miami. Not only with the defense on Nowitzki or any small forward that he's moved on to, but also in the rebounding department. He's been outstanding.
Posey 1 of 2. The Heat have missed 3 more free throws, but they're on a nice run.
Right now they're in a 2-3 zone for the first time tonight.
Harris to the basket, blocked by Mourning.
That's what he excels at. 3rd in the league in shot blocking.
Wade, the floater, won't go. And Dampier, the good strong rebound.
Good pitch out.
Under 2 minutes remaining in the first. Griffin puts it in.
As long as they keep the pressure up, meaning the Mavericks, keep fast breaking every opportunity and keep it up for the 45 minutes. That's your game, and you know the Achilles heel of Miami is the transition defense. And if you notice just in this first quarter, plenty of open shots.
Walker again to the basket. Antoine Walker not out on the perimeter launching threes. He's aggressive.
Well, that's one of his pet moves. He just loves that spin move. Once again, you see him zone. They're going to force Dallas to show them that they have good movement.
Are you surprised how much zone we have seen in these playoffs?
Yeah, I am. But then again, what you're doing is you're hiding people with foul situations. Also, you want to make sure that even when Dallas goes small, that you can keep Alonzo on the floor.
Dampier had it knocked out. Now there's 0 on the shot clock. The officials are going to discuss whether or not there should be 1 second or it's a violation. 1 second on the 24. So they're going to put it up. You have to catch and shoot right away.
Yeah, right now you do not want a lob to the front of the rim. Okay, that you must put your body on your man.
The Stackhouse will inbound on what is certainly a set play. Howard just gets it off in time with a 24-second violation because it did not hit the rim.
Now, that was a pretty play. And that opened up with Josh Howard coming across the lane away from the ball. That is usually the side that will open up in that type of a situation.
Shooting numbers here in the first quarter, 38% for Dallas, 52% for Miami. Chance of let's go Heat. Here at the American Airlines Arena, white hot Heat. They're all wearing white. They've unified the fans here in the postseason.
Now this is Dallas's first time in the zone also.
Posey, Wade. Payton hit the big shot at the end of game 3. Gets it to Posey.
Pretty.
where they are not settling for jumpers.
Well, Dampier, the shot blocker, was on the right side of the rim, Mike, and that's why James came up on the underneath, up on the side. Why? Because Dampier could not block the shot due to the rim.
For the third straight game, a little bit of a slow start for Dallas in the first quarter. Harris blocked by Mourning, throws it right back at him.
There's the fast break.
Wade to Posey.
This is the big advantage of playing zone. Not only do you hide guys defensively, but you can get out on the break. And you have an excellent shot blocker in Alonzo Mourning anchoring the zone.
In 2 of the first 3 games, the Mavericks were down by 8. They're down 8 right now as Stackhouse answers with a 3. The high hand of Stackhouse. Wade has to put it up. Not a bad attempt, would not have counted. And that will end the first quarter. Dwayne Wade, who had 15 points in the fourth quarter of Game 3, has 14 in the first quarter. Here in Game 4.
Now there's where Alonzo makes his presence felt. Then here comes the fast break. Make sure you get the layup when you have the advantage. The numbers.
O'Neal plays just 4 minutes with foul problems, but the Heat still lead by 5. Harris, Stackhouse, Nowitzki back in with Dampier and Josh Howard as Haslam's called for his 3rd foul.
Now Avery Johnson was out. He was going to really get on Bernie Fryer if that call was not made. No way can you get that chest up in there and bang him around like that. You're going to see it right here. See, that's out this year. All right, so good call. Big thing now, Dallas. They've got to get Nowitzki and Howard going. Both guys only have 1 field goal.
So Haslam will sit with the 3, and that's big because he has really defended Nowitzki well. He's only shooting 42% in the series. So Posey's on him. Meanwhile, Shaquille O'Neal's back in with his 2 fouls. Nowitzki off the mark. Dampier had it, lost it.
Shandon Anderson there now gives him another good defender and another runner on the break.
Here's Manny doing well with O'Neal on the bench with that backup of Mourning.
They got to get into this a little bit quicker.
Payton fires away. Well, Payton's last shot in Game 4 was one of the big ones, and he puts the Heat up 7. Stackhouse. Nowitzki left open. We rarely see him that open as Shandon Anderson getting some rare minutes, throws it ahead. Nice pass, but Wade looking to put it up before he caught it.
Now just think, this is Game 4. Any time that a guy takes a deep shot, I'm telling you, Wade releases. And when Wade releases, and if they get that rebound, they're looking for the long pass. Now, you do not want to give up an easy layup. Now, this pass was just a little bit too long for Wade. Right now, they're in a 2-3 zone again down in here.
Up. Payton falls. Nowitzki, that's a 3. In and out and in again as Nowitzki with his 2nd field goal.
Just like the other night in Game 3, he started off a rocky start, 0-6. He ended up with 30 points and then getting to the line 12 out of 14 times.
So Haslam on the bench shaking his head. Good to say, I should be out there guarding him. Right back to O'Neal. Good patience offensively for the Heat. Posey, wild shot though.
Now you see, Shandon Anderson cannot pass up that shot, Mike. He was wide open. When you come out and you make the 2nd pass out of the trap, you're going to be wide open. You must do something with the basketball.
Anderson hasn't played, maybe not confident to put it up.
Well, you're right, but by making an extra pass, then what the defense gets a chance to recover.
Harris in the land of the Giants. Gets it out, shot clock down to 2. Ooh. Offensive foul.
Good call.
Posey, who picks up charge after charge. I think that's the 7th of the entire series so far.
James Posey is an excellent defender, and he always has been. Well, you can see the elbow caught James right on the jaw. That was an easy call.
You coached him when you were in Memphis and were a big fan of this young man.
Oh, yeah, he was terrific. He causes a lot of deflections. He played small forward for us and helped us turn around that franchise. James was a double-figure scorer for us, shot all the technical fouls, and really did a terrific job defensively.
Meanwhile, Wade sits for the first time. There's the double. Anderson will shoot this time, blocked by Stackhouse. And it's Dallas ball.
Now, you got to continue to double team Shaq. If you notice now, they've come out now twice to Shandon Anderson. The first time, he passed up a wide open jumper. Second time, you don't have to worry about the jumper. He's going to put the ball on the floor, which helps the defense. It shortens their rotation.
So Darrell Armstrong check-in for the first time in this series. Armstrong, at 37 years old, the fourth oldest player in the NBA this year. With Timmy Mutombo, the oldest. Here's Armstrong there. Josh Howard. Shot clock down to 5 and a 3-second violation. Is it offense or defense? Yes, it's a defensive 3 seconds, so it's a technical foul. Dallas will shoot 1. That's tough to get with 5 on the shot clock and way out on the perimeter.
Yeah, but when you're a defensive half-court team that needs shading, by that we mean helping out, you get caught sometimes, and that with Miami, we've seen that happen in this series, Mike. The big thing is they need guys to help to exaggerate. So in case anybody gets beaten off the dribble, they can handle it.
You see Posey in there.
Yeah, he's still in there. So he was anticipating the drive.
You have to be within arm's length or guarding distance of a man in order to stay in the paint for more than 3 seconds on defense. The rule they changed a few years ago. Howard, tough runner in the paint. And O'Neal the rebound. The Heat leading by 3, just over 3 minutes gone by here in the second. O'Neal, hard drive, and they're going to call a foul against Dallas.
Now that was a very quick move by Shaq. He was going to split the trap before the trap arrived. Now that is always an option for you, or to spin baseline away from the man who's coming to trap you.
Of course, the NBA has gone global. As we mentioned, 205 countries are watching the NBA Finals. It's being broadcast in 46 different languages. This year, the league had 82 international players representing 32 countries. And, of course, there are certain countries that are a little more interested in the results. That, of course, includes Germany because of Dirk Nowitzki and him playing. And the German broadcasters are here at the American Airlines Arena. And you see the way it has grown from 10 back in 1984-85, now, as we mentioned, to 82. An unbelievable growth. So many great players. And as we said, the German broadcasters, there they are up there. And we're going to listen to their play-by-play in just a moment. Shaquille O'Neal will go to the line. And you're very proud of seeing that as well, because you've spent a lot of years traveling all over the world, giving clinics, teaching the game to the international scene.
Well, the NBA made a concerted effort for 3 years and put on 25 clinics in different cities throughout FIBA worldwide. And I was very fortunate to travel with Jack Ramsey and Calvin Murphy and Bill Walton to the majority of those clinics. And the interest was absolutely fantastic. And also at that time, they also did the merchandising and the television rights.
O'Neal misses again, and let's listen into the German broadcast.
Sollte
unterm
Korb gewesen sein, das Foul. Gary Payton hat gehalten gegen Terry. Armstrong.
They're a quiet broadcast team.
Terry vorbei an Payton. Schrittfehler.
Well, I just learned the word for travel.
There you go. That is the situation. You know, Dallas, just continue to do what you're doing. Things will break for you. You're shooting at poor percentage. You're only down 3
Er hatte
points.
mal den Spitznamen The Glove, Gary Payton, weil er so gut verteidigt hat. War 8-mal im Defensivteam der Liga und war der Defensivspieler des Jahres 96. Das ist 10 Jahre her und so sieht das heute auch aus. Shaquille O'Neal. Pass kam von Shannon Anderson. Shaq weit draußen, Job. Foul von Posey.
A blocking foul on Posey. who's shaken up. You know, there are people out there who are saying, I like the German guys better than Mike and Newby.
That's right.
You realize that?
So. Now that was so far. Now we've played. This is our 4th game. Now Jaap still has not attempted a field goal. Now he's been sent to the foul line on a number of occasions. You can see he was really trying to get to the rim with a strong dunk.
They count the basket. Jaap, over the line. Jaap, who then from the Senegal, was a soccer player as a kid. He didn't start playing basketball till he was 14. Then when he was 16, he moved to the United States to go to high school and learn to play basketball. And then by the time he's 19, he's a first-round pick in the NBA. Very quick turnaround, and he struggled his first 4 years, as we mentioned, in Cleveland. And now he's becoming a very solid player in the league.
Well, once he arrived in Dallas, they changed his body weight. Right then, he dropped 30 pounds since a year ago, and you can see he's a force.
Williams. Ball knocked out of bounds by Jaap. 10 on the shot clock. So a number of substitutes have not played much, getting some time here in the first half, including Shandon Anderson inbound. Posey, quick three-pointer, puts it in. He's their best three-point shooter percentage-wise during the regular season.
Well, he's 4 for 8 now in this series. And then he was one of the top shooters in the league, shooting over 40% during the regular season.
Nowitzki. Howard. In and out. That one halfway down.
Well, they've had a number of those in the first half, Mike. It's been a tough shooting night, but they're still right here.
Howard just 1 of 6. O'Neal. Williams sets for 3. 9-point lead for the Heat.
Now, Armstrong went right in for the double team, and it's easy for Shaq to see over the top of Armstrong. And when the ball came back to Jason Williams, there was no reaction by Armstrong. Jason Williams wide open.
Back in Miami, where the Heat lead by 9, 5 minutes into the second quarter. Time for our Coors Light Freeze Cam.
Now keep an eye on Shaq as Shaq throws the ball out. Now right now you're going to see the ball go into the corner. Now watch as they clear this backside right here. Now if you're going to front Shaq, look at that area that's wide open. See, that's beautiful chemistry. People working together and then clearing out, allowing Shaq room to make the catch.
Shaquille O'Neal, a solid start. 6 points, 5 rebounds, couple of assists. They've had good balanced scoring, including the Miami bench, which has been pretty quiet during the series. Posey harassing Nowitzki, and Posey to foul. That's the 4th team foul, and Posey 2nd.
Well, Posey and Haslam have definitely been putting a lot of body on Dirk Nowitzki. Now, Dirk Nowitzki, you're going to see it right now. See, he bodied him up there, and then they're going to body him up again. Now, you can see the foul, no doubt about it. But right now, Howard and Nowitzki have got to get going in this game because they have 3 field goals between them.
Shot clock down to 4. Terry to the basket. Oh, strong finish from Jason Terry.
That's always the way to attack a shot blocker, especially one who already has 2 fouls. Take it strong right up into his face.
And probably smart on O'Neal to back off on that rather than pick up the 3rd. Shandon Anderson underneath. Anderson trying to draw the foul.
This is what you need, a couple of 3-on-2s.
Terry, nice move, gets by Posey.
Yeah, that's good basketball. That's what we said about the Heat. This series has been played in spurts. First Dallas, then Miami, back and forth. So what you must do now is zero in because you know Dallas is going to be testing the transition defense of Miami.
Wade attacks the basket. So good with both hands when he gets to the rim. He's got 16. Stackhouse.
And Jerry better get up here.
Wade for 3.
Oh, wow. Come on now. That's his 2nd 3.
19 points, and we still have 5.5 to play in the second quarter. I think his knee is fine. Stackhouse can't get it to fall, and O'Neal with his 6th board.
Well, they continue to shoot in the mid-30s. And if you're not going to get any second shot opportunities, it's going to be extremely difficult here to close the gap.
Wade trying to draw the foul. He does. Howard hits him.
Yeah, that was a smart move.
That's 2 on Howard, and Wade will go back to the line.
Yeah, he gave him a little fake with the ball, and then also a head fake. Now this is just Wade, right? Beautiful crossover. You know that he loves the crossover, and he loves to make the spin move in the paint. Now this, he just made sure that he was behind the line, and unfortunately for the Dallas defense, that defender did not close him down. And this was just good, smart basketball. You got a guy running at you, always give him the ball fake.
Wade misses a free throw, which he's talking about that 4th quarter of game 3, said he felt the season was slipping away. Told his teammates, I'm not going out like this. And then had that tremendous 4th quarter, not just the points. He had big rebounds, he had deflections, he had the key rebound at the end. Made so many big plays, just carried his team to an improbable win.
Now this is the best half that we have seen Miami play in the series. Now they're averaging almost 17 turnovers a game. Tonight, only 3. Now they come back after the zone foul shot. Now they're playing 2-3 zone.
Another defensive 3 seconds against Shaquille O'Neal, so a technical foul, 1-shot technical. Meanwhile, some jawing going on between Shandon Anderson and Jason Terry after the whistle.
Well, Shaq was standing right in the middle of the lane like a high school or college 2-3 zone. Unfortunately, you have to be close to a man.
He's getting an explanation from Dick Pavetta as Nowitzki now at double figures as he hits the free throw. In game 3, Miami was up by 9 at halftime, and then Dallas turned it around in the 3rd quarter. That's been the Mavericks' big quarter all series.
Now right now, see, they're giving you a zone so that you cannot run a set play from out of bounds.
Very small lineup out there for Dallas. Terry, Nowitzki for 3. He's just 2 of 7 from the field.
Well, they're struggling as a team from the perimeter, Mike. They're getting open looks. The ball is going in and out or off the front of the rim. But you know the shots are there.
Now Nowitzki's guarding O'Neal, but Wade to the basket. Knocked out of bounds. And a foul. Nowitzki will pick up the personal. That's his 2nd.
See, with Shaq on the floor, what they're doing here, you're going to see that this is definite foul. It's not even close. He hooked him right on the arm. Right now, with Dallas going small, playing Nowitzki at center, Miami is saying at the other end, we are not going to chase you around in these mismatches. We're not going to put Shaq on you. So we're going to play 2-3 zone. Now, right now, this is a technical on Shaq. He wanted to go out and talk to Dick Pavetta, and you know it's all over the zone at the other end where he was called for a zone call.
I think it was one of those instances where he was talking down one end. Pavetta probably told him enough, and he kept going. So a technical foul results in 1 shot for the opponent. The key here is if you get 2 technicals in one game, you're automatically ejected. Sometimes you can get baited into one by another player, so O'Neal has to be careful. He went back out to talk to him. You see Pavetta telling him to stop. Dick Pavetta in his 31st year in the NBA. O'Neal getting a laugh out of it. This is his 24th NBA Finals game.
One thing Dick will always do, he'll always tell you that's it. And then he will walk away from you. And you could see Shaq went at him and then said something, and that is always the magic time.
As you said earlier, Yubi, that's some pretty unbelievable company.
When you say 40 points and 10 rebounds in the finals, just look with the group. Jerry West, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, and now Dwayne Wade.
He's got 22 already, and we still have 4 minutes to play in the 2nd. Harris, Terry, Stackhouse, Howard, 4 wing players, and Nowitzki.
Yeah, this is just good basketball strategy. They're going to, you want to go small, fine. Well, we'll just play zone.
Nowitzki breaks the defenders. A travel. As Nowitzki took an extra step.
Now, you look at this and you say, well, you got a small group out there, and Nowitzki, you have 4 perimeter guys, and Dirk, so you know that this is to your advantage. That was an easy call. All right.
And a technical foul now, I believe, on Josh Howard. We say this all the time, you need to control your emotions. Points so valuable. We just came off a 2-point game, and you're giving away points with ridiculous technicals.
Well, this is a situation where there's a lot of frustration. Frustration at the Dallas end because they're getting the open shots, and the shots are not going down. Plus, they are not executing well, and they're not getting good movement or into the paint against the zone. Now, then you got Shaq at the other end. He's still upset over the fact that he gets a zone call because he was standing right in the middle of the lane. There was no offensive player even close. So that was an easy call by Better.
But they can't take advantage. At least Jason Williams misses that free throw.
That's what I say. Tonight it's amazing. For me in Memphis, Jason Williams was an 87% foul shooter. He's missing tonight. Then you had Terry missing, a solid 80-some-odd% shooter. Right? Then you have Nowitzki, a guy who has shot 90% during the year, 90% in the playoffs.
When you look at Miami, they're 8 for 15 from the free throw line, 53%. They're at 55 for the series. O'Neal's free throw shooting was a big part of that, but other guys, as you said,
yes,
would be missing.
Absolutely right.
Nice pass. Shaquille O'Neal with his third assist, and this is the largest lead of the series for Miami.
Well, you know, when you looked at Game 3, Shaq was the leading assist man for Miami with 5. So they're doing a good job in coverage. With Shandon Anderson in there, you have a guy who's an excellent defender covering for you.
Howard wide open, can't get it to fall. Nowitzki right there on the follow, but misses. Stackhouse can't get it to go. Fight for the rebound.
Well, get it up here.
Jason Williams, quick three. Not a good shot at all. Dangerous pass. Terry. And Jason Terry having a solid first half. He's got 10. Did Jason Williams ever take one of those threes when you coached him? And how quickly did you take him out after?
No.
Shandon Anderson. Anderson gets his own rebound, but runs into O'Neal. Strip but foul. And if that's on Howard, that's going to be his third. We'll have a timeout. Howard picks up his third. And the Miami Heat strong again in the first half. Pat Riley's team had that thrilling comeback in Game 3. Terrific start in Game 4. Up by 11 with 2.5 to play. 2:37 remaining in the second. Heat leading by 11.
Well, the big negative stat for Dallas is Josh Howard and Dirk Nowitzki are 3 for 15. Now we're talking about 2 of your top 3 scorers. The major plus for Miami, only 3 turnovers, and this is a team that's averaging a shade under 17 a game in the series.
Well, Shandon Anderson has only played 2 minutes in the series. In the first 3 games, hasn't scored yet. And this is the first free throw as we go to Lisa.
We know that.
Mike, the key in that, the theme in that last Heat huddle, let's close out this quarter right. It must have been said at least 5 times. And the thing is, Pat Riley wasn't the one saying it. It all came from different players. Mike?
Well, they'll need to hit free throws, Lisa, to do that. They're now 8 for 17 from the line. They'll be up by certainly a whole lot more. They can knock those down. Nowitzki blocked by Morning. That's his third rejection.
Came out of nowhere. That was just a sensational block. Now remember, even though he only played sparingly during the year, he averaged close to 3 blocks a game. He was ranked 3rd in the league.
And all those time when O'Neal was out early with the ankle injury, as Wade gets to the basket, inside to Anderson. Anderson traveled, hesitant to shoot again.
He's making a lot of things happen. Like, first of all, he's an excellent defender. He's smart. He can cover the areas when they play zone. He's made things happen at the offensive end by running without the ball. He might not get the final basket, but he makes the defense react, and it opens up other people.
This is his 3rd NBA Finals. He played 2, was a big part of the Utah Jazz. They lost twice.
Now there's hustle right there. That's why he's in the game, Shandon Anderson.
They reset the shot clock, though, on that. Nowitzki gets it inside. Blocked again, but a foul. As Nowitzki crashes to the floor. Alonzo Mourning again as Avery Johnson irate.
Now that was a power block, and you can see it. Now, watch as he gets that ball. See that right there, that's all power. And then the arms hook as they're going on the way down. Now, is it a foul? Absolutely. But it's a great block up on top, but then you can see he drags the arm down.
Nowitzki's taking a couple of whacks. And we'll shoot 2 free throws.
Now, Dirk might be struggling from the field, but he's 6 for 7 from the line. And that's what you like about this guy. During the season, 82 games. Give me a player that size who handles the ball as much as Nowitzki. He averaged less than 2 turnovers a game. That is unheard of, Mike. And then throughout the playoffs, he's only averaging a little over 2 a game.
There you see the David Hasselhoff faces. That's what they're chanting. Then back to Nowitzki probably wishes he did not admit that to take the pressure of himself off at the free throw line, he hummed songs in his head. One of them, he said, was the Hasselhoff Looking for Freedom song, which was a huge hit when he was a kid in Germany. Nowitzki now from the line, 8 for 9. He's got 13. 9-point game with 1.5 minutes left in the second. Wade, beautiful bank shot. He's got 24.
It's the beauty part of his game. He plays the board as well as anyone in this league.
Griffin. Adrian Griffin inside, past the Jop, blocked but fouled.
Now, he just had some great passing inside. That's very difficult to do with a shot blocker like Mourning. Now, keep an eye on Wade. See, this is just you have nothing. How about that angle that you have confidence that you could bank that shot?
So Jop back to the line. Another missed free throw Saturday. ABC's FIFA World Cup doubleheader begins at 11:30 a.m. Eastern with the Czech Republic against Ghana. Then Team USA will try to bounce back against Italy in a must-win game at 2:30 Eastern. ESPN and ABC, your home for every game of the 2000 World Cup, presented by Adidas. Jop, as we mentioned, was a soccer player as a kid. He loves the sport. He predicted Brazil would win the World Cup.
All right. Everyone's entitled to a strong opinion.
There are many strong opinions in World Cup. Walker.
All right, now, Dallas playing zone.
Mourning. Can't connect. Oh, it does go in. That ball had no business falling through.
Well, I think he was shocked that the pass was right on the money to him, and he was at a very, very poor angle.
The Heat bench has been huge in the first half. Now it's Anderson's turn to belly up on Nowitzki. Boy, there's a lot of
contact there. You're absolutely right.
Shot clock at 1. Terry barely hits the rim. Well, like Nowitzki not complaining, just stays with it and gets back on defense.
Well, as you said, Mike, the subs have done a terrific job, not only with the rebounding and the scoring, but also in the defense. They've really bodied up and they played an excellent zone anytime that they were in it.
Wade. Stackhouse, plenty of time.
Oh, yeah, plenty of time here.
Shot clock is off. A whistle and a blocking foul called on Shandon Anderson. Not a smart foul, although Anderson felt it should have been a charge. And Stackhouse will go to the line.
When you're out there in a situation like this guy's on the floor because he can defend. Now, right there, you're looking at that, Shandon Anderson, you're complaining because you were at a standstill place and you had good position, and you can see Pat Riley is really hot.
So Stackhouse will go to the line. Armstrong checks back in. Stackhouse, watch him at the free throw line, how low he bends his knees right before he goes all the way down. For a number of years, he was one of the NBA leaders in free throw attempts when he was a big scorer with Detroit. Averaged almost 30 a game one year. Quick timeout. 1.8 left in the half. The Heat in control. Stackhouse, one more free throw. Again, way down. 1.8 remaining. Plenty of time. They come up on Wade. And Wade won't attempt the shot. And that will end a very impressive, strong first half once again for the Miami Heat. Dwayne Wade, superb. 24 points on 9 of 14. Did not look like that left knee was bothering him at all as we check in with Lisa.
Thanks, Mike. Dwayne, so the knee feels so-so?
Yeah, so-so. I don't have my explosiveness. So right now I'm relying on my jump shot, and it's working for me. So, hopefully I come out in the second half and have more explosiveness and I can go to the basket a little bit more.
Come on, I was only joking. 9 for 14, 24 points. It has to feel pretty good.
I'm confident in my shot right now. They backing off me, so, I'm shooting it, and it's hitting right now. So they continue to do that. I'm going to continue to shoot it. I ain't going to worry about it. 24
points, just too shy of the Heat playoff record for points in the first half. At what point did you start to feel it in that half?
I was feeling it early on, my first couple shots. But the main thing was to come out and give my team some energy early on. And as I score early, guys really picked it up. So we playing good team ball right now, but we got to come out in this third quarter and do something we ain't did in the last 3 games. Let's turn it up.
All right, good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
For the second straight game, the Miami Heat with a terrific first half. They led Game 3 by 9. They're up by 10 here in Game 4 as they try to even up this best-of-7 NBA Finals. Hi again, everyone. With UB Brown, Mike Breen on hand. Dwayne Wade, we're worried about his knee. His knee is fine. And although he was spectacular, he got a lot of help, especially from the bench, UB.
Well, yeah, I like the bench because also with Mourning and Shaq between them, they have good combinations. And then Posey and Chandonez, a terrific job. Now, Dwayne Wade just explodes. Right now, you can see he's shooting a high percentage. He's 9 for 14. He's also made 2 threes. So he's on fire when that happens. Now, at this end, Lonzo comes in off the bench. He gives you 10 minutes. You get 4 points, 3 blocks, and then 4 boards. He gives you the total package. So between Shaq and Zoe, the numbers are excellent. Now Wade, the shooting's there, the points, the rebounds, and then over here with the Alonzo. Now when you look at Shaq and Alonzo together, how about 10 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 blocks at that center position? Now this is what's struggling. Now we know Dirk has 13 because of the free throws. He's doing a good job on the board, but he's 2 for 9 from the field, exactly the same at halftime as Game 3. But what they need now, they need Howard to also step up, because between Howard and Dirk, they're, a very poor 3 for 16. Now, if they get their game to going, look, they were down 9 in Game 3 at halftime. They came back and got a big lead.
They outscored the Heat 34-16 in the third quarter in the last game, just annihilated them in the period. Now let's go to Lisa Salters.
Mike, Heat assistant Bob McAdoo said the key for us in that half was we played very good defense. They only shot 34% from the field. What's keeping them in it right now is that they're also shooting 73% from the foul line. Dwayne Wade warned against coming out flat in the third quarter. McAdoo said, again, the key, defense. If we can just continue to keep our defense on point, not worry so much about the offense, we'll be fine. Now with more on the Mavericks, let's send it over to Stuart Scott.
Thanks a lot, Lisa. I talked to Avery Johnson at halftime. He said, we've had about 4 or 5 shots that went in the basket and then came back out. He said, but I told my guys, don't get discouraged. Keep shooting. If you have a shot, take the open shot. Don't take any dumb shots. I said, Coach, what do you do about Miami shooting 58%? He said, quote, it's Wade. Wade shooting 100%. We just got to stay in front of him and keep the energy up. I saw Mark Cuban as he was going back in the stands. He just shrugged and he said, hey, we're playing like crap and we're only down 10. And Mike, crap was not really the word he used.
I didn't figure, Stu. You saw that number there for Miami. It's now 24 consecutive playoff games when leading at half. That's the second longest ever. Shaquille O'Neal's Lakers in the early 2000s, as Harris puts that in. They're the team with the longest at 40 in a row.
Now this maybe will get Harris going. He's now 1 for 3. They played Terry and Harris together because of the speed factor.
And Dallas, not just in Game 3, but a lot of them in the playoffs, and in this series, the third quarter has been their big quarter. O'Neal drops it in easily.
Now see, that's smart basketball. If I do not have control of the ball, throw the ball out, repost yourself, and you notice how deep. And then once he catches it there, it's up and in.
Terry throws it away. Haslam.
Good anticipation by Haslam.
Wade kicks it out. Walker, wide open 3. Antoine Walker. Lead back to 13, equaling the largest of the game.
Now, the upset there is the fact that Walker attempts 7 a game throughout the playoffs. That was his first 3-point attempt tonight.
He's been taking it to the basket instead.
Pretty.
Shot showing some athletic ability. And Terry spots up but can't put it down.
Unfortunately for Jop that time, he staggered, so he did not want to try to force a poor percentage shot.
Williams. O'Neal. Williams left open. Nowitzki with her 6th rebound.
Now in game 3 at this time, Dallas open floor. See, this is where Miami cannot fall asleep. This is how they came back and took the lead in the early part of the third quarter in game 3. All in transition.
Terry, who had that 32-point explosion in game 1, he's got 12. Single coverage. A rare time we've seen that, and O'Neal can't take advantage.
I'm surprised that he did not take an extra bounce. Because if he takes the extra bounce, he'll get the edge.
Nowitzki kicks it out. And Harris has a couple of buckets here to start the third.
Now that's encouragement for the young man, but also the coaching staff is going with him, starting him tonight at the first quarter as well as the third. And he's a streak player.
He started tonight. He told us the other day he actually prefers to come off the bench. He says there's a lot of pressure on the starters. Wade gets inside. Boy, he's got that shot down pat.
Now, Mike, I'm telling you, his improvement. Now, we all know that he was a foul line guy down, but then now that the fact that he plays the board so well.
Harris tried to draw contact. O'Neal did a good job going straight up.
Look out here now. You have a 4-on-3.
Try another 3. Avery Johnson waving his team on. Push it up the floor. Nowitzki, they need to get him untracked, and he's just 2 for 10.
Dallas must play at this pace, Mike. Every opportunity, every turnover, every miss. Force the action. Force the action.
Bad pass from Haslam, and Howard with the steal. The Mavericks quick defensively. They can force turnovers. Harris to the basket. Rebound, Jop. Wade knocks it away. And that's one of the reasons why the veterans love Wade. He's not afraid to do the dirty work. Howard with the strip. Still a heat ball with 9 on the shot clock. Boy, Howard, he's a pest on defense.
Yes, he is. With the long arms, he has excellent anticipation. He plays the passing lanes well, and then off the dribble, that long reach, he gets the deflections.
Wade pulls up. Boy, he is just so confident in his stroke tonight.
Well, the thing is, he's so smooth. He takes it easy. He's never in a hurry. He just plays off whatever the defense gives him. That's what he's taking.
He has 28 points, and we still have 20 minutes left in the game. Howard for 3. They're just 2 of 12 from downtown. They've had some good looks here.
Absolutely. Well, now they're getting better looks. I thought in the first half, the defense of Miami was tough, plus the fact that they could not solve the zone to get good percentage shots.
And Jop, no, the basket will not count. Blew the whistle before. Jop just wrapped him up. And he'll take it out of bounds.
Now, smart move. We know that you have 12 fouls at that position with Jop and Dampier. So anytime that he gets the advantage right here, when he puts that drop step, see, it's over. So you've got to foul him in a hurry.
O'Neal wanted it to count. And Stackhouse comes in. Stackhouse very effective off the bench. Dampier will check in, and Jop will sit down after picking up his 2nd foul.
Well, Stackhouse had an excellent first half. The 11 points, 3 rebounds, very active.
Wade banks it in.
There it is again.
Largest lead of the game. It's up to 15.
There's that old great name in basketball, Boston Celtics, Sam Jones. Played the board better than anyone ever.
O'Neal fouled for Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh, yeah.
He's his 3rd, and Nowitzki is shaken up.
Yes, he is.
He gets up pretty quickly, though. We've seen him knocked down. He's got some real toughness to him.
Now keep an eye right here. You're going to see the bump. But then the foul, see, as he lands on that left side shoulder area.
So Nowitzki will go to the line. Nowitzki, when he was drafted in the NBA, he didn't really want to go. He wanted to stay in Europe and play one more year. He felt he wasn't ready and that he was too young. In fact, he told teams, don't draft me. The Mavs, though, convinced him that There'd be no pressure. He could just develop. And then the lockout came. That was the year he was drafted. He was so relieved. He figured his first year, he was so nervous about going to the NBA and whether or not he could compete. He said if it didn't work out, he'd go back and play over in Germany for the Wurzburg X-Rays. I think it worked out.
Yes, I do believe. And he's been in the league 8 years, Mike. He's been all NBA 6 times in 8 years. And the nice thing about it all, in the last 2 seasons, he's been picked as a power forward for the first team all NBA. And he deserves it all.
And he's now the leader of this team now that Nash and Finley are gone. O'Neal, nice move, and a foul.
Now, you're a Miami coach. You are happy. That was a quick move. And it happened so, look at that. See, it's over. Because once he catches you on that shoulder, it's over. I don't care how good you are, how big you are, how much of a great shot blocker, it's over because of his strength.
There's his boy. I'm happy for him. Sergeant Philip Harrison, Shaq's dad. Always emotional watching the games. A lane violation. Well, we've seen this so many times with O'Neal shooting free throws because of that hitch.
Yep, the hitch at the top. All the players, they're concentrating, trying to block out their man and get in position because the percentages are in your favor that he is going to miss.
He's got his family in select areas around the arena to cheer him on. And takes advantage. The lead is ballooned to 17. They're all here in different spots. Five minutes gone by here in the third. The Miami Heat right now, very impressive. Stackhouse has a good look. Walker, wide open. And Dallas rarely gets rattled on the road, but right now, they're out of sync.
Well, watch out here.
Back to O'Neal. Oh, a hard foul. And it's a flagrant. O'Neal is upset. They're trying to hold him down. Now Walker gets into Stackhouse's face. Dwayne Wade kept O'Neal, as now Dick Bavetta does, from going after Stackhouse.
So you hate to see that your team, when you're out in front like that, Jason Williams should have just powered his way in and laid it up, and you would not have had any of that. But by slowing down, you allowed Stackhouse to catch up to the ball, so that Stackhouse's job is do not allow Shaq to get a layup.
Wade, meanwhile, held Shaquille O'Neal down, a smart thing. Yes. Remember, O'Neal has a technical foul. If he would got up and confronted Stackhouse, he could have got a second technical and automatic ejection. So a great play from Wade in keeping his teammate away from Stackhouse.
Now just keep an eye here. See, he's just slowing down. See, but that gave Stackhouse a chance to get there. Now, that was definitely a flagrant foul. Excellent call by Dick Bavetta.
No question. You know, that's the definition of a flagrant foul in the rule book is unnecessary contact. Certainly there. I don't think it's excessive. You may have the officials talking about whether it's a flagrant 1 or 2. Flagrant 2, you're ejected from the game. No, that's just a flagrant 1. But the right call. Now watch O'Neal stays down. He wants to get up.
Yeah.
But Wade maybe saves the day by holding him down. So he didn't pick up his second technical. Again, you can't blame Stackhouse. That's a smart play, but you've got to do it a little cleaner.
Yeah, but you see, the other side of that is hey, you did not go for the shot block. See, that's the other side of that. You say, well, Shaq is so big, how can I go for the shot block? I cannot get up over the top of him. Well, then Dallas people will say, the Dallas coaching staff, he went for the foul, and he did not try to hack him, and he did not hit him in the head.
Meanwhile, Stackhouse will shoot a one-shot technical because after the foul, Antoine Walker was called for a technical for going after Stackhouse. So Stackhouse will shoot 1. Then the Heat will come down the other end. Shaquille O'Neal will shoot 2, and they'll get the ball off the flagrant.
Right.
Now, nice job, Stackhouse and O'Neal. They got together, acknowledged each other, and said, okay, it's all over with. And you like to see that kind of sportsmanship. Both guys realize it's a hard-fought series, and this is obviously an enormous game. Now they're getting on the refs because I guess the technical foul. But when Walker comes after you, you can't afford that. Also, another key thing on plays like that, you have to make sure nobody from the bench who's not in the game, leaves the bench, because that's an automatic suspension. And how about O'Neal? If he hits this one, this place will erupt.
Now, when you just think Dwayne Wade is having an incredible game, but Shaq and Mourning at that center position have dominated big time up until this point. Now, you can see the family's all excited, but you have to understand Stackhouse's job in a situation like that. You've got to put Shaq on the line, and the easiest way is to make the foul shots to quiet everyone.
And Dampier fouls Wade. So Wade will go to the line as Dampier picks up his third foul. And as we said, this third quarter, in previous games, the Dallas Mavericks have dominated, especially in Game 3. A complete turnaround here in Game 4.
Well, their defense was able to force turnovers, Mike, or low percentage shots. They were able to get out in the open floor, and they just ran right by the Miami team, getting high percentage shots. And then what happened, it forced Pat Riley to use a lot of timeouts. And then you're saying to yourself right now, why aren't we seeing that tonight? Well, Miami is playing at a different level up until this point in the game.
Chance of MVP. Wade knocks it down. It's a 20-point lead here at the American Airlines Arena. Game 4 of the NBA Finals. The Heat, after their thrilling come-from-behind win in Game 3, have come out with a vengeance here to start the second half, led by Dwayne Wade with 32 points as they try to even the series. Terry knocks down the shot.
Well, Jason Terry has played solid throughout this entire game. He and Stackhouse really have been the only two players who have up over 4 field goals.
Wade.
Yeah, he can get that anytime.
Again, Wade hurt his knee in Game 3, but it's fine. There's nothing wrong with his knee as he knocks it away, picked up by Stackhouse. Terry for 3. And Terry back-to-back shots. That's huge right now to keep Dallas at least semi-close.
Exactly right. And that was a gamble by the Miami defense. They gambled to go for that loose ball. And unfortunately for them, it opened up the three-point shot.
As we've seen in this series, a 15-point lead doesn't mean a thing.
Doesn't mean a thing is right. They both play in streaks.
And a kick. A foul called against Dallas with 5:15 remaining in the third. It's been a physical game, but Miami Heat winning the physical power right now.
Yeah, now with Miami, you can see the fast break. What happened here? Jason Williams, instead of laying it up, he's giving it to the big man. He's rewarding him. Stackhouse's job, do not give up the layup.
Shaquille O'Neal, one of the most charismatic and legendary players the league has seen, born in Newark, New Jersey. Spent some time overseas as a child. As we mentioned, his dad, Sergeant Philip Haverson, was in the Army. Always had the great smile, liked to play all sports. Went to high school in San Antonio at Cole High School. And has developed into a legendary figure, UB, as he has had some big moments here in this third quarter as we go to Lisa Salters.
Well, Mike, Shaquille O'Neal has told us that after that horrible game 2 in which he scored only 5 points and missed all those free throws, he says, you know what, I didn't really listen to all the critics and the newspaper folks telling me how horribly I played. He says the only people that I really listened to, my mother, my father, Coach Pat Riley, and my former LSU coach, Dale Brown. So I called Coach Dale Brown today, and I asked him, how was Shaq really feeling after that game 2? And he said, I have never heard Shaq take a loss so badly. He was so genuinely down in the dumps, Coach Brown said, that he felt like he had let his entire team down. So Coach Dale Brown's advice to Shaquille, he said, remember what you did in college. You shot 12 out of 12 in your last game against Indiana in an LSU Tiger uniform. Did what you did back then. It's the same advice that Dwayne Wade gave him, and so far, so good, Mike.
Well, they always get suggestions on missed free throws as Terry can't get it to go. Ball knocked loose, Stackhouse saves it. In fact, Pat Riley said, as the foul's called on Walker, that he got a number of letters about people suggesting different free throw remedies. My all-time favorite one of those, I remember Tim Duncan went through a bad stretch. He got somebody to wrote to him and told him, shave your armpits will improve your free throw shooting. He said it didn't work. Everybody has a remedy. That's right. Terry. O'Neal right in his face. And Haslam lost it, but Wade right there. Under 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter that has been dominated right now by Miami. O'Neal wants it. Nice pass. Haslam couldn't hold on.
Well, it was a nice move by Haslam. Haslam has not scored from the field, but he has been doing a decent job on Dirk Nowitzki. He's made it difficult for him.
Nowitzki tried to draw a foul on Wade on that, to no avail. Walker to O'Neal.
Now, that was a great decision by Walker. The first cutter went through, and Walker did not give it to him because he saw Shaq right behind him, and he waited and then gave it to Shaq.
Antoine Walker, now a supporting player with Miami, setting up his teammate beautifully.
Now, just keep an eye. See, Wade's cutting through there, but he was covered. They waited for Shaq, and you always reward the big guys when they're running the lane.
O'Neal, 9 points in the third quarter as the Heat lead by 19. Welcome back to Miami. It's a hot ticket here at the American Airlines Arena. We've got tennis stars. He was here for game 3. Basketball stars. Patrick Ewing, now a coach. Clyde Drexler. Former Heat star Tim Hardaway. Singing stars, and she's here all the time. And of course, star couples. All here near courtside in another packed house. With just over 4 minutes remaining. One of the key numbers, UB, turnovers, as the Heat only 6.
Now that's big. But the big turn of stats at this end of the floor is Dirk and then Howard are 3 for 19.
Harris, his third field goal of the period. And again, Nowitzki has not shot well in the series, 42%. You have to give a lot of the credit to Udonis Haslem and James Posey.
Well, they've done a good job, the two of them, and then also the zone has also affected them.
Alley-oop! Oh, Haslem with a tough play.
Tough play is right, but he's smarting right now. He had to really stretch for that.
They go the other way. Stackhouse and Dampier not positioned.
No, very good call, Mike. He was standing on the box. He should have been under the basket. He would have had a dunk.
Antoine Walker with a foul. He not the penalty.
Now just keep an eye. You're going to see the back screen right there. See opening up. Now that was a fantastic catch up over the top of a defender.
Now they say, excuse me, my correction. It's a 3-second violation, not a foul. 10 turnovers for Dallas. Haslam was bothered by that bruised shoulder. That looks fairly healthy on that play. O'Neal doubled. Walker. Nowitzki hit in the face. If Dallas has any hopes of coming back, he has to get hot. Let's see what the call is. Officials looking, blocking foul on O'Neal. That's his 4th.
Yeah, 2 referees. Bernie Fryer on the outside had the good angle, and Dick Vivetta inside. Both had the same call. Now, Dirk Nowitzki is not stopping going to the basket. Right now, he's going to get his 12th and 13th foul shot attempts. Now, you're going to see he's going to the side. They're claiming, all right, that both referees are saying that Shaq was moving and that there was an alleyway for Dirk. Now, it always depends upon the angle that they are looking at it. Both guys were on the opposite side of the floor.
That's one of those that could have gone either way.
That's right, because they were looking at an angle and could not catch the blind side.
Nowitzki, as morning comes in, Nowitzki has been just superb, showing he is truly one of the NBA stars throughout the postseason. But they have, we talk so much about what Miami is doing defensively or having done to them by Wade and O'Neal. Nowitzki's facing the same type of things now, UB, with double teams and very tough physical defense.
Well, everybody's bumping him as he's trying to make his moves, upper body, knocking him around. And also tonight, he has not had a great many of open looks, and everything has been difficult for him.
Just 2 of 11 from the field.
Yeah, right now they're in the zone.
Wade. Griffin calls it in.
See, they're going small right now. They're going to try to play small ball with Dirk as the center and then play zone.
Harris has the mismatch with Walker.
Oh, you can't leave the guy.
Stackhouse to the basket. Stackhouse looking for a foul.
Yeah, he thought he got bumped.
And foul down low. Nowitzki and Mourning, they call the foul on Mourning. He's got to be careful. He pushed off Nowitzki as he picks up his third.
Yeah, Nowitzki was on the move there, and there was definitely a collision.
Mourning playing a lot of minutes early. Shaquille O'Neal was in foul trouble early in this game, played only 4 minutes in the first quarter, yet the Heat overcame that and led by 5 after 1.
Well, the bench were very instrumental. Not only Mourning with the 3 blocks and the rebounds, but also Posey with the 8 points, and he did a terrific job with 4 rebounds also.
Shot clock at 7. Stackhouse, nice pass inside. And Griffin, who's being guarded by Mourning, that's a tough matchup for Mourning, puts it in.
Well, anytime in transition, you can't get into the zone. Anytime that you score or shoot a foul shot, it's easy to get back in the zone. But if you play man-to-man, then you must take advantage of that mismatch.
Alley-oop. Nowitzki stole it, and Haslam fouled him, and Haslam has picked up his 4th foul. So Haslam and O'Neal each with 4. In the NBA, for those new to the league watching, 6 fouls and you're out.
NBA games are never over, all right? And we all know that there's so much time to go here. We have a quarter and a minute and 47 seconds. You cannot get lax and give a team easy possessions, especially a team who can run off quick bursts like Dallas.
Haslam stays in with the 4 fouls. Pat Riley left Wade in with 5 fouls almost the entire 4th quarter. A lot depends on the player. Nowitzki still can't get it to fall. 2 for 12.
Well, they were up on top of him. See, anytime that he's backing down, either Haslam or Posey, he's having difficulty because they're up into him.
Wade spinning. Offensive foul.
Well, that's what they were looking for.
Tough call as Wade picks up his 2nd.
Well, you know that Wade loves that spin move. See, and watch the anticipation here. See, he took it. He took it. You could see the right arm go down by Wade and put it right onto Harris as he spun into him.
He pushed off, and again, a key there, you can be a defender moving and still draw the charge. You don't have to be stationary. Stackhouse. Stackhouse has had a hot hand early, now with 14 total.
Well, it's difficult for Dallas tonight, Mike, because Terry and Stackhouse are having great games. Unfortunately for them, we know that Howard and Dirk are struggling and just cannot throw it in the ocean. Now, if they're going to come back, they've got to get some stops and some turnovers.
Wade trying to find room, kicks it back out. And a 3-second violation call against Miami. You mentioned Howard and Nowitzki. They are combined 3 for 20.
Yeah, well, you know, when you say your top 3 guys, that's why at the top of the show we said, hey, they're a great road team. Why? Because of the 3 top scorers. They had to come in here big tonight. Terry is doing well, but Dirk and Howard struggling. Stackhouse off the bench had to give it to you, and he's giving it to you.
Stackhouse, there he goes again to the basket. Haslam, good help defense, and Posey pulls it in.
Okay, Posey's done a terrific job in games 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the board.
There's about a 6-second difference between shot and game clock as this capacity crowd gets on its feet as we wind down the 3rd quarter. Heat starting to turn it over. Walker. Rebound tipped out of bounds. And Dallas will have it with 6.6 remaining. Avery Johnson's team slowly chipping away at the lead. Stackhouse, beautiful move, and banks it in.
That was beautiful. What a beautiful hesitation move.
Williams' shot will be short, and Dallas finishes the quarter with an 8-0 run. And after trailing by as many as 20 in the period, they're back within 11.
Did we say they were streaky? Now, how about this move? Just watch that hesitation. See, he got Wade to relax, blew by him.
This presentation of the NBA Finals on ABC will continue after this message and a word from our ABC stations. As we get set to start the 4th quarter, game 4 of the NBA Finals, Miami Heat with an 11-point lead, trying to even up this best-of-7 series at 2 games apiece. They've shot the ball well. A team that many people thought in game 3 with 6.5 to go were on the verge of falling to 0-3. But they had one of the great finals comebacks on Tuesday night. And now we'll try and hold the lead to tie this series.
Now they're playing small, meaning the Mavericks. They're in a zone, all right, to protect their size factor, and they're going to force this group to score.
That shot by Payton, out of bounds. If you're wondering who gets the ball to start the 4th quarter, the way they work it, the team that wins the opening tip also gets possession to start the 4th. The team that loses the opening tip gets the ball to start the 2nd and 3rd.
There's pressure on this group out there for Miami right now. They must score the ball, and someone other than Wade has got to pick up the slack.
Wade bumped by Harris. Harris upset, but he clearly hit him. And that's his 2nd foul as we go to Stuart Scott.
Mike, in that last timeout, Avery Johnson was very upset at the beginning of the timeout. He said, look, if a guy's open, give him the ball. He did tell his guys, I do like the way you finished the quarter. We just got to keep rebounding. And then Dale Harris, the assistant coach, said to the guys, look, fellas, if we get 2 or 3 stops to begin with and a couple of scores, their butts will tighten up. And that is a quote, Mike.
Interesting phrase. Thank you, Stu, as Haslam picks up his 5th foul.
Well, Dallas came back in that quarter. Think about it. Miami had a good first half. They only had 4 turnovers. We told you they averaged right shade of under 17. Well, they came back in that quarter right there at the end with 6 turnovers. So consequently, no shot attempts, and Dallas made a good run.
Ball deflected by Nowitzki, whose tough night just continues. Where it looked like Haslam hit it. That would have been his 6th foul. Let's watch.
Now keep an eye right here.
Well, they did hit off Nowitzki. Haslam bumped him a bit. It was the Miami Heat who had the big comeback in game 3. Dallas will try and do it on the road in game 4. Walker stripped.
Now this group, Mike, there's pressure on this Miami group. Dallas is going to sit in this zone every single time there's a dead ball, a foul shot, or a score. So this group must prove that they can score against the zone.
Posey. Good ball movement. Wade. I don't know if that was a pass to Walker or not. Ball out of bounds. Last touch by Harris. So it's Heat ball with a new 24.
Well, he was trying hard. That was a good effort.
And what they're saying is there should have been a shot clock violation. The officials will talk about it. The ball never hit the rim, that's for sure. The question was whether Dallas gained possession off the miss. Because if that's not the case, it should be a violation.
No, that ball definitely was out.
And they never had possession.
That's right.
Now, depending, they might put 1 back up on the clock, or they just might call a violation. The ball has to hit the rim before the 24 seconds or a release on the shot. Dick Bavetta, the veteran official.
1 second up.
They're going to put 1 second on. That's the right call by that ball going out of bounds. There was still 1 when Harris touched it.
Right now, Dallas, you cannot allow a lob pass in the front of the rim. Everybody's got to pick up here now.
So a quick catch and shoot. Wade banks it in as the buzzer sounds.
Set play, a beautiful set play. A double screen for Wade coming to his left, and Harris was very late.
Harris gets inside. Oh, strong way to answer. And the foul, so Harris with a chance for a 3-point play.
You'd like to see this young guy open up because we know he has blazing speed. He can make things happen off the dribble. Just don't try to be sensational. Do meat and potatoes. This is just a nice rocker move, and now he just goes right by Gary Payton.
Harris has said when he first got in the NBA, Kobe Bryant was his favorite player. First time he had to guard him, he was in awe. He said, I was watching him. I wasn't guarding him. And he's going to get over being in awe in a hurry, playing in his NBA Finals at such a young age. He's just 23.
Now they're taking off the zone. They're playing man-to-man. Now you got to go at Shaq.
Stolen by Stackhouse, who falls and gets away. Harris again. Sandon Anderson, good job keeping Nowitzki off the boards.
Well, if Dallas plays man-to-man and Nowitzki's on Shaq, you have to go through Shaq. But you need good spacing here so that they cannot double-team him on the dribble.
Offensive foul. Boy, terrific defense. Shuffling his feet was Devin Harris.
Well, I'm telling you, he has shown in this series that he's going to be a great defender as the years come on, as he learns the little idiosyncrasies of every single offensive guy that he defends. His feet are so quick, and he anticipates well.
It's only his second year out of Wisconsin. He's come off the bench in most cases. Starting tonight. Goes right at O'Neal.
So with the small group, Miami's countering with a zone.
Stackhouse upset that he can't knock that one down.
You're in great striking distance. You got 9.5 minutes to go here.
Posey to O'Neal. And a foul call after the pass by Posey. Another offensive foul.
This is where Miami must pull themselves together. You see, now right now you could go all the way, force a shot. No, good decision. Put the pass right in there.
Good defense from Josh Howard as Posey picks up his third. The Heat starting to turn it over now.
Yes, they are. Miami, just take their time. Okay, Miami's got to play heads-up basketball. Dallas playing good movement now against the zone.
Nowitzki continues his nightmare night shooting the basketball. He's 2 for 13. And you see the foul problems. But right now, they still have the lead. Another turnover, right?
Well, this small group has done a terrific job.
Wade, blocking foul call on Howard, and the Mavericks bench erupts. Nowitzki, meanwhile, he's shaken up right now.
So just keep an eye on this now. He's up in there high as he comes down. Watch his leg. Watch that. Look at that left ankle. He definitely turned that ankle, Dirk Nowitzki, as he came down.
He had that happen in the San Antonio series when he fell on Tim Duncan's ankle. We've said this before. He's played through some minor nicks and bumps and some major ones as well. He's really shown his toughness this year. But it's been a very difficult evening, to say the least. 2 of 13 from the field. Yet his team only down by 10. Well, the trainer's not going near him, so apparently he's okay. O'Neal. Shot clock winding down. Walker tried to lob it to O'Neal, gathers himself, and he's fouled. O'Neal, who's 3 for 6 from the line tonight, will shoot 2 as Dampier picks up his 4th, and we'll take a timeout. Just over 3 minutes gone by here in the 4th quarter. The Miami Heat trying to tie this best of series up. They've got a 10-point lead here early in the 4th on their home floor. South Beach in Miami right now. The Heat leading by 10. Time for our Coors Light freeze can.
Now, with 1 second on the shot clock, this is just a beautiful play that's going to happen. You're going to see Shaq and then also a double screen. This player will go and catch the pass. Now watch as Dwayne Wade comes off. Watch how it develops. And you're going to see Harris tries to go under the screen, up and off the glass. Now that is their only field goal in the last 6 minutes and 56 seconds in this game.
So they still lead by 10. Meanwhile, Dallas in these 2006 playoffs, 4 different times they've been down by double figures and come back and won the playoff game. That included game 1 of this series, although that was the first half 11-point lead. They've been down by as many as 20. That was in the 3rd quarter as O'Neal rattles that one in. And we check in with Stuart Scott.
Mike, on the way to the bench, when Dirk came off the court, the trainer just asked him as he walked by the trainer, "Are you okay?" Dirk said, "Yeah, I'm okay." He did not ice the ankle. He didn't put it up. He didn't even reach for it to grab it, to massage it. Now, interestingly, this is a different ankle than the right ankle he hurt in the San Antonio series. But people in the Dallas organization say, that's Dirk. This kind of thing happens to him all the time. He'll turn an ankle, he'll come right back, and he's going to the scorer's table to check in right now, Mike.
All right, Stuart. Meanwhile, O'Neal has hit his last 5 free throws. And they're up by a dozen. Posey with the deflection. And Harris comes down with it. Shot clock winding down. Jason Terry. It's the side of a backboard.
Nice ball movement, open shot. Now at this end of the floor, Miami's got to button up. They have 10 turnovers in the last 11 minutes of play.
Make it 11.
11. And now you're saying, why can they not pull away? Even though Dallas is shooting 36%. The reason is the turnovers. All right, so you have 11 turnovers now in less than 12 minutes of the second half. That was an easy call by the referee.
And Terry made it a little easier with some nice drama there.
No, that's all right. The main thing is as long as you get that contact in the chest, of course you're going to fall down.
No question on the foul. 12-point game, still plenty of time remaining. With 8 minutes left here in the fourth quarter of game 4. Along with Hubie Brown, Lisa Salters, and Stuart Scott, Mike Green on hand. As the Heat trying to tie the series at 2 apiece. Stackhouse. Walker does a good job staying with him. And Stackhouse again can't hit. He was hot early.
That was one of the best defensive segments that we have seen Miami in the half court throughout this entire night.
Hubie 3 for 18 from three-point range.
Yes. And, you know, they're not a big three-point shooting team.
O'Neal doubled. Shandon Anderson. Posey for 3. Puts it in. It's back to 15.
I tell you, James Posey is now shooting over 50% in threes in this series.
Posey has had a terrific all-around game.
Yes.
Terry trying to find Dampier. Way off.
Well, that was good intimidation, and Shaq might have gotten a piece of that shot.
The presence of Shaquille O'Neal. And Payton throws it away. Payton's had some bad turnovers.
Well, Mike, the angle. Come on, you don't feed from that. That's just a bad angle.
And the 2 stars, a nightmare night for Dirk Nowitzki. Another superb performance from Wade.
Well, we said at the top, your top 3 scorers have got to come in a game like this on the road. And unfortunately, we know that Howard and Nowitzki are struggling. Terry has done an excellent job shooting, and then Stackhouse off the bench has been terrific.
Harris draws the foul. As Payton picks up his 4th, and Devin Harris has won in some nice solid moves in the second half. He'll shoot 2. Our NBA Finals on ABC continues Sunday, Game 5, right back here. Will the series be tied at 2 apiece? We'll see. Coverage starts at 8:30 Eastern. Then Tuesday, if necessary, Game 6 back in Dallas. And then Game 7 also in Dallas next Thursday. Our coverage each night, 8:30 Eastern. Kicks it off, tip off a little bit after 9. Anderson sits down, and now Devin Harris, if he puts this in, it's a 13-point game with 6.5 to play, just like we had in Game 3. Only it was Miami that was down, and they were on their home floor.
Well, Devin Harris has given a nice spark here. He's been solid in the second half. That gives him 11 points, and he's doing a nice job.
Wade, of course, had the great finish in Game 3. Looking for some room. O'Neal. Posey again, open, the 3. And O'Neal rips it down.
Oh,
nice feed! And Posey's fouled. Shaquille O'Neal, a big offensive rebound. And free throws for Miami.
Listen, that was a beautiful pass. Now just watch as Shaq makes the decision. Now as the rebound comes out, Shaq is going to get this. Now watch Posey run without the ball. A no-look pass by Shaq.
Devin Harris was like a gnat around Shaquille O'Neal. First when he had the ball, then when he got the rebound. O'Neal 17 points and 12 rebounds. Posey, though, what can you say from Posey in his first year near Miami? He was part of that 5-team, 13-player deal. He had played in Memphis, played in Houston, played in Denver. This is his 4th NBA team, his 7th year out of Xavier. Always a good defensive player. He's developed a bit of an offensive game. Did so with you in Memphis, Hubie.
Well, he runs so well without the ball. He understands getting to the open area and creating a pass. And Shaq has been able to find him this evening.
And the Heat have hit all 11 of their free throws in the second half. Stackhouse to the basket. Jump ball. Excellent defense from Walker. He'll jump at the Mavs free throw line circle.
Jerry Stackhouse is laying it all on the line here tonight. He's attacking every single time. That was just beautiful defense on the ball, and then when you come down, automatic jump ball.
Antoine Walker has never been known for his defense, but he's putting in the effort tonight. He's made some nice defensive plays. He's playing under control.
Oh, there
They
it
win
is.
the tip. Oh, bad pass.
Yeah, too far, too hard. It's very difficult to judge the speed of a guy if he's on the same plane as you. And that's why you always like to see a guy, you know, bend out to the right so that you can get a passing area that's easy, that you can judge the speed of the runner.
The big guy, not good on finesse passes. Nowitzki, another double tuning him every time he touches. Shoots, that's a three.
Short.
Way short. Now 2 for 14 for Dirk Nowitzki.
Well, the main thing here is in the last 2 minutes, Shaq is all over the place as a double teamer. Now he went all the way out and put pressure on Nowitzki.
The crowd rises and Wade draws the foul on Harris. Third foul on Harris. Wade already with 34 points. We'll go back to the free throw line. 5.5 remaining in the fourth quarter. The Heat looking to tie the finals up. '29-year-old James Posey, a big factor off the bench tonight for the Miami Heat. Posey, young man, one of 2 kids growing up in Ohio, met a sister. Not only was a big sports fan, but basketball, I should say, but also was a bowler and became a basketball star as a young kid. Terrific high school player. Wound up going to Xavier University, where he got his degree in forensic science. I think it's fair to say he might be the only guy in the league with a forensic science degree, and said one of the biggest accomplishments of his life was graduating from college. This is his 4th NBA team, as we mentioned. Started with Denver, then Houston, then Memphis, and his defense is really what earned him his reputation in the league. He is a big part of what Nowitzki's struggles have been tonight.
Tonight for Miami, 3 guys are in double figures. Shaq is 17, and then Dwayne Wade has 35, but then Posey off the bench with the 13 points and the 8 rebounds, and the defense has been a major contributor.
Wade with 36, not after his 42-point game in Game 3. Last time a player had 2 40-point games in the finals was Shaquille O'Neal. He did it 3 times back in 2001. And Wade is on his way to another. Yeah, they got to get to the cross half court. Miami Heat right now in complete control. What a turnaround this series has seen. Wade. Three-pointer won't go. O'Neal, another offensive rebound, and then a foul call. Get out of the way. Let's send it over to Lisa Salters.
Well, Mike, in that last timeout, Pat Riley just told his team, take care of the basketball, get back, and close out. He said, we're in the penalty, so keep attacking the rim, make them defend. It's time to finish, so let's go do it. Mike?
Well, they've got 4 minutes and 55 seconds, Lisa. His timeout about this time in Game 3, his team was in big trouble, and he wrote season on his whiteboard during the huddle, as if to say your season is in trouble. It was in Game 3. They were down 13 with 6.5 to go, and Dwayne Wade ran amok, and they win Game 3, completely turning around the momentum and everything in this series, which was being dominated by the Dallas Mavericks for the first 2.5 games. Still tied with 17-point lead with just under 5 remaining, but right now Dallas not showing signs. Marquise Daniels in for the first time, as is Keith Van Horn. Van Horn way short.
It's been the story of the night. Everything is off the front of the rim. In the first quarter, they had so many baskets. The ball would go in the basket, spin around and out.
Wade finding Walker. Walker for 3. Back to 20.
It's difficult on the road to shoot 34%, get outworked on the boards. And then if you're not going to create any turnovers, it's difficult to make any kind of a run in the fourth quarter.
Daniels stolen by Posey. Posey just making one play after another. And the Miami Heat playing with such confidence. Again, outplayed in the first 2 games in Dallas, and they have turned it around.
Well, we said coming into this game, they were 9-1 at home. They average over 100 points and shoot over 50%. And that is the story here this evening.
Posey tips in his own miss. And Avery Johnson wants timeout. This crowd ready to explode as the Heat with their largest lead of the game. Shaquille O'Neal, 34 years old, but still can move, Hubie.
That's right. Just keep an eye on Shaq. He steps out. He helps on the high screen. Now he covers the corner. Picks up at Van Horn. Plays him pretty good off the dribble and even applies pressure on that jump shot.
He's getting a rest now. He has so much pride, Hubie. Again, one of the great players in the history of the game, yet he's heard some criticism over the last couple of weeks. But although the numbers aren't there, still can be such a dominant force, improving that here tonight. Powell shot in and out. Avery Johnson has thrown in the towel and resting his players up for Sunday as he's emptied his bench. Look at this fourth quarter numbers.
Right. Just staggering. When you look at the 1 for 11 and only the 5 points, plus the fact that you cannot stop Miami at the other end.
That's the only way Wade has been stopped. He's picked up 3 offensive fouls, and that's now 4 total personals. And Wade is going to come out 36 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and a big smile as his team will tie this series at 2 apiece. Daniels. See, Morning's presence in the first half was huge.
Well, he came in and made the 3 blocks right away, hustled on the boards, and put a physical presence in the painted area.
Walker can't help himself on the threes, and Armstrong the rebound. But Walker has played a solid game as Miami ball knocked out of bounds. All right, so now Dallas again dominant in the first 2 games. They lose a heartbreaker, one they really should have won in game 3, UB. They were up by 13 with 6.5 to play. Now they lose a game where they were dominated in the second half. What's going through their heads right now?
Well, you know, it's a total frustration, but the main thing is all you still, when you come into a series like this, all you have to do is win 1 out of 3. So the coaching staff is talking about a positive approach. They were excellent after the heartbreaker the other night, and they will be excellent tomorrow when they deal with their team with the video and the meetings, and then the practice sessions, and then getting ready for the game on Sunday.
Walker puts it in. Now remember, Dallas, when they played in the conference semifinals against San Antonio, they went up 3-1 and then lost 2 straight games, heartbreaking games, and had a game 7 on the road against the Spurs. They won that in overtime. So this team, the Dallas Mavericks, a very resilient club.
Well, it's the coaching staff, their attitude, everything is from a positive level. You know, and I know, that they're relying on the fact that Howard and Nowitzki are going to come in here on Sunday and shoot a higher percentage. Where are you going? They cannot go 3 for 22 with 2 of their best scorers.
Let's not forget, with the Heat winning this game, the series is still only tied, and 2 of the next 3 games would be in Dallas. Wade getting a chance to rest. And Walker will go to the line with 1:32 remaining, and these fans celebrating. Saturday, ABC's FIFA World Cup doubleheader begins at 11:30 Eastern with the Czech Republic against Ghana. And Team USA will try to bounce back against Italy in a must-win game at 2:30 Eastern. ESPN and ABC, your home for every game of the 2006 World Cup, presented by Adidas.
Now just think about games 1 and 2. Miami scored 85 and 80. They averaged 83 points. They come into this building in game 4, 98. And right now, if he makes this, they'll be 98 again. So we said they score in this building and they shoot over 50%. So, you know, it isn't by accident what we're seeing here. They can score the ball.
Saw Posey get that much-deserved ovation. Terrific performance from Posey, the bench, with their best game of the series. Darrell Armstrong getting some garbage time. Armstrong can't hit. Knocked away. As dominant as the Dallas Mavericks were in game 2, the Miami Heat have been just as dominant here in game 4. It's amazing how each game takes on a life of its own.
That's right.
You can't overreact to a win or a loss, as Alonzo Mourning getting an ovation.
You always try to tell your team, every game has a different personality. It's also dictated by the personality and the rules that the three refs are going to come with. You know, they all have their pet things that they enforce or not enforce. And I thought, like tonight, you know, they took a stand. This is how this game is going to be. You had to adapt. Now, there was a lot of physical play at the defensive ends. And unfortunately for Dallas, they could not shoot the higher percentage.
Mavericks, by the way, they only have 7 points here in the fourth quarter. Lowest points in any quarter in an NBA Finals game is 9. It happened a couple of times. The Heat defense has been great. And Van Horn can't hit. Jason Capono and Michael Doliak emptying the bench as the Miami Heat, with a tremendous second half, blowing out the Dallas Mavericks. And we'll certainly head back to Dallas at least for Game 6. As this series will be tied at 2 apiece. And what a turnaround for the Miami Heat. You could tell by their body language in Game 3. It looked like their season was slipping away as Armstrong can't hit. But they have one of the best comebacks in finals history. Take Game 3 and dominate Game 4. Ball knocked around. And Walker has it. Shot clock's turned off. And the cheers begin. The NBA Finals are tied at 2 games apiece. The Miami Heat with a very impressive performance. And there'll be at least a Game 6 as Shaquille O'Neal, Dwayne Wade, and the Heat. Just a marvelous performance, Rudy.
Well, you consider 74 points to an outstanding athletic team who came in here tonight with a high field goal, high three-point shooting, and excellent on the foul line, and they could not get it done at the offensive end.
Let's send it to Lisa Salters.
Thanks, Mike. Shaquille, 6 for 8 from the field, 5 for 10 from the line. Was this the complete game that you were waiting for?
No, I still can do more. You know, we all can do more. I think this is our first almost good game. We're starting to pick it up. Different series now, 2-2. So, you know, we just want to get this one on Sunday and really make it a different series. So, you know, guys are looking for me. I asked them to, you know, just look for me. They're looking for me. They're still doubling. I'm just, you know, playing unselfish ball. And, you know, just trying to hit the open man.
The flagrant foul by Jerry Stackhouse. What were you thinking when that happened?
Excuse me?
The flagrant foul by Jerry Stackhouse. What were you thinking when that happened?
I wasn't thinking anything. It was a hard foul. That's how the game used to be. You know, when I was growing up, guys always took hard fouls. You just get back up and keep playing. I'm a class act. I'm not going to do anything foolish to disrespect my family or disrespect this organization. It was a hard foul. I've taken many hard fouls before. I just get up and keep on moving.
Lastly, what'd you say to James Posey when he didn't convert your beautiful no-look pass?
I told him he was messing up my highlights.
All right, thanks, Shaq. Dwayne, a 24-point victory. What message did you send to the Mavericks with that?
It's not over. We knew that leaving Dallas. It's 2-2. We know we got a series now. And we got one more game at home to take care of business at home.
Now, the game started getting sloppy early in the fourth. A lot of turnovers. What did you do to turn things back around?
Well, it did. It got sloppy on both sides. But you know what? We came and we said, all right, let's calm down. You know, both teams were trying to get out of it, but, you know, we made the plays when we had to.
And how's that knee feeling now?
It's feeling a lot better. You know, like I said, don't worry about me. I'm going to be all right. So I felt a lot better today, and I'll be good by Sunday.
All right, congratulations. Mike?
Lisu, thank you. A complete turnaround after the first 2 games dominated by Dallas. Shaquille O'Neal and the Heat bounce right back. Game 5 coming up Sunday. Dirk Nowitzki, a nightmare night, 2 for 14 from the field.